So brainstorm over 8 people. Have the brainstorm be dark. It's over 16.
Mana Palace on 1.
Send my ass.
Lotus Petal. Take one just one. That's good. Say Wasteland. Nah, I'll toss you 5 cards.
Thinking.
Yeah.
Mishra's Bobble you thinking. And a scoop. Okay. With Dennis already up a game here. Overgrown Tomb, paying 2 life. Stitcher Supplier. Looks like Bridge from Below, Vengevine, Marsh Flats.
Then it's your go.
I did see you play Kaplan earlier.
Yeah.
I didn't know that was.
Is he like a name I should know in Legacy?
He's pretty good, yeah.
Yeah, we had some good matches.
Play Call Box, I'm gonna exile a card.
Okay.
You got this one.
So I played against Patrick at this event. I got completely crushed by Hogaak. Patrick is new to Legacy, I think he said. And I think this was Patrick's first Legacy event. Who is the player, the name I should know in Legacy they are discussing? Patrick mentioned at the previous round he played against Dave Kaplan, who's one of the regulars, and one of the top competitive players here in New York City. 77% favorite for Hogaak, says Twitch chat. Yeah, game 1 was over in like 5 seconds. Okay, looks like Force of Vigor is getting countered here. Pitching. Guess we'll find out. Pitching Thoughtcast to Force of Will. There's a Chalice on 1 on the board.
Well, you have the Force of Will.
Yeah, I already exiled 1 here.
Yeah.
It's like I don't need 2 Force.
I'll play one.
Yeah, we're on standby to find out what tokens Patrick will be using. And hopefully we won't be disappointed, chat. YouTube commenters, brace yourselves for these zombie tokens. I don't know what's going to happen. I really don't. Sonic says Vengevine is one of my favorite cards. Always root for the Vengevine decks. Sonic was then banned by the moderators. We don't like Vengevines here. I'm just playing. I got stomped multiple rounds at this event by Vengevines, both against Patrick on Hogaak, and I lost to a player named Justin on Madness at this event. And as we saw earlier, I lost to Dennis on 8cast. So this event did not go well for me at all. I went 1-3. It was a really, really sad show that day. Stitcher Supplier gets in an attack, and here's Undead Butler milling 2 cards. The Bloodghast now in the graveyard. And here's Psy for Dennis.
Sacrifice 2 artifacts, draw a card. Gotcha. Okay, thank you.
Go ahead.
Untap. It's a 1/4.
1/4, yeah.
Draw.
It's pretty fat. Pretty fat.
I'll attack. No, sorry. Sorry. Am I good in the main? Sorry. Theta Ray Thunder. Mill 4? Or sorry, reveal 4.
Vengevine. Oh my god, 2 Vengevines.
2 Vengevines. Dennis also triggered by seeing Vengevines. All right, Marsh Flats goes to hand, a nice Zendikar Expedition. So now I think there are 3 Vengevines in the yard or 4 Vengevines in the yard. Oh no, there are 3. There are 3. The other green card is a Force of Vigor.
I'll play Marsh Flats, turn on Bloodghast. Sorry.
All right, Bloodghast comes in from the graveyard.
Sorry, I'm not really sure how to format my board in the best way. I'll go to attacks, and I'll attack with these guys.
Fucking Rob Sater, and then give me a second and ice the thing out of it.
Dennis considering blocks here. Taking 1. Just blocking the Undead Butler where no creatures die. There is 1 bridge from below in the Hogaak graveyard. Here's Emery.
Yeah, you're good to mill. We're both milling ourselves. Yeah. Okay. You mill Pop Monitor, Chalice, Lotus Petal, Force Will. Okay.
Go ahead.
Untap. Do you have any cards in your hand?
No cards.
Draw.
Dennis is hellbent. Altar of Dementia.
So cast Alter Dementia. It's my board's getting kind of flooded here. Sorry. I will sacrifice Bloodghast to Alter Dementia, targeting myself. Trigger on Bridge Control. So mill myself for 2.
Yeah.
All right, there is a token of some sort. Hogaak now in the graveyard. We'll see if the YouTube commenters appreciate this token or not. We await their verdict.
I'll exile 5, tap 2, cast Hogaak.
Okay.
Is that alright?
Yeah.
Twitch chat is losing their minds right now. It's out of control. Moderators, please keep on standby. Mind everybody in the Twitch chat.
3 bridge trigger, by the way. Sorry. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm gonna like. I'm not sure how.
We don't have any moderators.
I'm gonna like lay it out like this. If that's okay. Sure. I milled 5 already, I think. Right. 1, 2, 3. I think it was 5.
Okay.
Sorry.
Sure.
1, 2, 3. So now bridge trigger. I got a second zombie.
Yeah. That's a cool zombie.
Thanks. I'll sacrifice.
Cool zombie, says Dennis.
Alter Dimension, targeting myself. Trigger on Stitcher Supplier. Trigger. So mill 3 off Stitcher Supplier first. Mill 1 off Stitcher Supplier. And then I'll make 2 more zombies to 4. I'll tap 2 zombies. Sorry. 2. And then 2 zombies are going to be untapped. I'll exile Faithful Fleeting.
Doing the Hogaak thing.
Cast Hogaak. Sorry. And I made the zombies, right? Yeah, I Hogaak. I'll mill myself for 8. Trigger. Or sorry, I forgot about the Vengevine trigger. Should I bring them back?
Yeah, sure.
Sorry.
Alright, yeah, you got it. I can't come back from that.
Hogaak, alter 2 bridges, the deterministic wins, says Aquinas. John Zen says Magic just like Richard Garfield intended it to be. I agree. when Richard Garfield was designing Herloon Minotaur and Counterspell, he said, eventually we're going to have games play out where someone gets Hogaak and Altar of Dementia and Bridge from Below in the graveyard and wins the game. That's just the truth. And if you don't believe that, you're wrong. Fetching with Marsh Flats here to start game 3. Emery on the board for Dennis. Seat of the Synod, Thought Monitor. Looks like Ancient Tomb and one other card in the graveyard. And a Blood Crypt to start for Hogaak. So we see some, worth pointing out, we see some budget option shock lands in the Hogaak deck. And, you know, we were talking earlier on the stream about questions I'm continually asked. You know, I'm always asked to weigh in about the proxy stuff, and you know, here is proof that a budget deck like Hogaak with Shocklands, if you're going to weekly events at your local game store just to jam some Legacy, it's reasonable to play a deck like this and have a good time. I understand that it's no longer optimal if you're not playing dual lands that don't cost you 2 life to enter on tap, but yeah, I think everybody gets where I'm going with this. I don't need to explain it anymore, right, chat? Roberts says, you mean you're no longer endorsing everyone to buy a tabby? I do not endorse anyone to buy a tabernacle, and we'll just leave it at that. I'll save my rant about tabernacles for some other time. Bridge from Below is in the graveyard. Faithless Looting is in the graveyard. Marsh Flats fetching. Yeah, I'm not a Tabernacle fan. Not a fan.
Sorry, I got the wrong thing. Sorry. I'll Sean. Yeah. Sorry.
Life total don't matter too much here.
Yeah.
Dennis is right. Life total doesn't matter too much here.
I was like, oh, Dragon Ray's Channeler. Something. I just remember it's not a good blocker. It's because it has to attack every turn. Usually, it's not. It's not.
Blood Gas goes into the graveyard. Worth noting.
Yeah, no. So I was like, okay.
Yeah, I was like shuffling, and then I presented it, and then I realized, oh, that's what he's playing. I was trying to figure it out.
Yeah, no, I just like forgot what the card did entirely.
No, I was trying to figure out what deck you were on.
Oh yeah. Usually
SF says, I've heard of people letting their opponents play as though their Shocklands are regular duels at casual weeklies like this. Obviously, no one's obligated to do this, but I think that's a nice gesture. That's interesting. I've never heard of that before, but that is interesting. Cute Bunny says, did we see any legacy cards in this Hogaak deck, or is it the modern version before bans? I mean, it's got Bridge from Below. I'm not sure what you're referring to. It's got Faithless Looting.
Cast another Emery.
Yeah.
Before. Oh, I guess you mean bans of those cards. I don't really know.
Format scripts. Use a Fairy Macabre, exile your Blood Gas and your Faithless Looting.
What does that do?
Discard it to exile 2 cards from target opponent's graveyard.
Okay, what would you like to exile?
Your Blood Gas and Faithless Looting.
Blood Gas and Faithless Looting getting hit here by Fairy Macabre. The Mako Kid says Cabal Therapy maybe. Yeah, I think there's Cabal Therapies in this deck. I did play against Patrick at this event, as I said earlier. And I'm pretty sure there are Cabal Therapies, but I might be wrong. Altar of Dementia.
It's not worth the headache.
Yeah, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
Like, I know what I decided it was not.
Yeah. It's okay. I'm just here for a couple of games.
Line that I'm used from there. Move a second main, I forgot to do that. I'll move a second main that had 3 black.
Tormod's crypt pretty good.
Yeah.
Like Delver a bunch.
Yeah. All the different flavors of Delver.
I haven't tried all the different flavors. Tried a few.
Sorry, I play modern,
thought about
not
the,
Legacy,
the
so
slower
I can
version?
draw.
That's
I
what
feel
the
like this
one
is a
is.
slow.
All right, we hear Patrick saying I play modern, not legacy. Seemed like Patrick was a knowledgeable, thorough player, just playing in, just new to legacy. Satyr Wayfinder, attacking here.
Yeah, pick one. 19.
Alright.
19 to 14?
Yeah.
I got our full priority as I do this.
Alter dimension?
3.
Here you go.
Brainstorm, Storm 5, full priority. I'm going to craft these for triple black, triple blue, triple red.
Play another Urza Saga.
Okay, just brainstorm result.
Activate.
I think I'll try this.
Activating Emery here, targeting another Tormod's crypt, which is pretty good. Really nice Tormod crypts as well. Passing the turn now. 2 altars on the board for Hogaak. I'm curious what's going to be searched for with these Urza Sagas. All right, creating a construct for blocks. Blocking Satyr Wayfinder.
It's a pretty good one.
Not really. Here you go.
And then I'll pass to you.
Comics Mike says this brings up something. I was talking to a buddy last week, and I was asking why more people aren't playing crypts. It seems like it might help against the big decks like Murktide. Yeah, maybe. Delver can fill up their graveyard pretty fast, though. I mean, you can get some, you know, Tormod crypt activations, and then a turn later they still have a Murktide, depending on where in the game you are. All right, Pithy Needle comes down, naming this Altar of Dementia. That's what I was curious if that was going to happen. It wasn't clear from the previous games we watched if Dennis had a Pithy Needle in the main or sideboard or what.
All my stuff has
Is this the shredder? It's here.
Play a land.
See what happens.
I'm
I
excited.
use the floating mana to make a construct.
And it's whenever any player plays their second, right?
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'll activate this guy, play a Thought Monitor from my graveyard for 1 mana.
Casting a Thought Monitor from the graveyard, it's pretty good. I think the advantage bar is moving slightly over to the left, little by little.
Just like it's exactly what happened in game 1 where I had to do
Thought Monitor, draw 2. Quite a bit of card advantage here for Dennis.
6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Attacking for 10. I think this game is just about over.
I'm just stealing it for the camera.
No,
Go ahead.
Untap of drop. So this is naming this, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Cast Fatal Sleep. Draw 1. Draw 2.
Discarding Hogaak and Marsh Flats.
Yeah, you got it. Good games.
And that gets a scoop from Patrick.